Is that a real fig leaf binder?
Oh yeah, no.
Really? I was like, because how are you getting light down there?
No. This is just, I threw that. I have like 3 of these upstairs, and I was like, you know what? I felt like I was upstairs originally, but then there was too much light all around me, and I always look like a shiny angel in these meetings. So then I came downstairs because I was like, okay, the lighting's better. I feel darker, and I don't know, looks better. But I was like,
Oh my God. How long is your story? Jesus, Tina, what is this?
Tina,
how long is this story? We asked if it's a fake or a real fig leaf. We didn't need the history of its genesis.
Oh my God, Tina!
I love Tina, but Tina. And you start to glaze over, and then you're like, wait, what was the actual answer? And what was the question? And what were we talking about? Tina just kept talking. Love you, Tina. Hugs and kisses.
Love Tina. Stories. I heard Tina. I love it. I didn't know what she was saying, but I just heard it.
Look,
we love her.
Tina needs to learn from us. You only talk as long as you need to talk, right? We never talk too much, so.
We only talk as long as we're allowed to talk, John. Allowed to.
Okay, let's roll into the show. This is The Jam, everyone. You know who we are. If not, our names are on the screen at some point. The insanity of GameStop stock continues. This has been a wild ride. So after days of soaring prices led mostly by folks online trying to stick it to the wealthy hedge fund managers, the man struck back. So TD Ameritrade, the popular app Robinhood, a couple other places where you buy and sell stocks, they basically prevented anyone else from buying game day stock, which means that it can't really go up if there ain't anybody to buy it. So they also stopped similar efforts for other stocks that Reddit users have been trying to gummy up the system with. So lots of people are up in arms about this. They're wondering how, in a so-called free market, people can just be shut out because they're finally making a lot of money and they're stiffing it to a lot of rich people.
Well, let's keep it 100, okay? Now, this is bad when two political foes agree on something, okay? Ted Cruz, quote, tweeted AOC and said that he fully agrees with her stance about Robinhood blocking trades. Moment of unity in politics? Nah, not quite. AOC, she clapped back with this. She says, in part, that she's happy to work with GOP, but not Cruz because he tried to have her murdered 3 weeks ago. Those are her words. She said if he really wants to help, he can resign. So let's bring Brandon in to really break down all this chat because there's a lot of layers to this, okay? Because we got what's going on with GameStop and the economy and then the politics on top of that. Go ahead, Amy.
Lots to unpack here. And I'm going to start with AOC because I do not disagree with this woman. Listen, the GameStop thing is one thing, and it's wonderful that the Republicans and Democrats are coming together on certain issues. But ye cannot forget the past that quickly when you're talking about a one little elbow bump from Cruz to AOC. Not going to work, buddy. You got to show some really solid connection first.
I think you're completely wrong. I think AOC missed a huge opportunity for some bipartisan efforts on something that a lot of people agree with. Yes, they have disagreements, and she wants him to resign. Ted Cruz ain't going anywhere, okay? He executed his rights that he has as a senator, and you might disagree with him, and yes, it helped fuel the riot, but he wasn't there to light the match. And all that aside, hold on. All that aside, let's put that aside, okay? He's not the one that stormed the Capitol. Hold on. AOC had a moment here to really try and find some legislation that could actually make a difference in people's lives, and she went for a dig instead. So she missed out.
But why does it have to be a Democrat that has to do that when you're talking about murdering people versus, stocks in a company? And she's supposed to lay down and be like, oh, yeah, Ted, that was fine. It's okay. I'm a lady. I'll take it. Go ahead. Thanks.
That's not what I'm saying. No.
I mean, AOC doesn't talk like that, but Democrats are always the one that are expected to be the bipartisan equality, come to the table, work together. Democrats are always expected to do that. And I guess you could say Republicans are expected to do that too. They just don't. They don't cave in. So I think AOC is giving them a taste of their own medicine.
I have a lot of thoughts, but Brandon, you go.
Yes,
Thank you. It's rare that I agree with John on anything. but I do agree with John on this one. I thought this was a
Yes.
great opportunity for two polar opposite sides to come together, and it made me wonder, what else could we get them together on? Do they both think that pineapple belongs on pizza? Do they both believe that the first Episode 1 Star Wars movie was a terrible film, or do they both think that it was a great film? Like, what else can we get them to come together on? And maybe through those common bonds, we get something substantive for people. Because honestly, I don't think everyday Americans care that much about, far left, far right. They just want to see some more money in their pocketbook and see what's going to better their lives. So if AOC and Ted Cruz could find a way to get something popping, yeah. But I get why AOC's a little jaded. I do understand that. I do.
Right here, right? Okay, let me point out something that's glaring. The black woman and the white woman disagree with the black man and the white man. What do you think the problem might be?
Hold on. This has nothing to do with gender. Absolutely nothing to do. I wouldn't care if she was a man, a woman, or Ted Cruz was a woman or not either. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, here's the thing:
Let's
is
check
that
our
she's trying to
privilege, John.
score. Look, they're all trying to score political points against each other. I get that. But like, here was Ted Cruz finally saying, like, okay, yeah, we can work on it. She should call his bluff, because odds are he's going to suffer politically for work. Let me
This
finish.
is a conversation about she said, he said, and you're saying that sex doesn't matter, which cracks me up.
It doesn't. What I'm saying is Ted Cruz is going to suffer politically when he works with AOC. So you could stick it to him and say, fine, let's work together. So I'm saying that there is a political advantage to it, and the fact that you can get him on message and get him to work together on something. And finally, like, we need a bipartisan agreement on something. Why not start here? Why are we continually trying to score political points on each other on Twitter to get more followers, to get more people riled up? You got two people that agree on something on opposite sides of the aisle. One's in the House, one's in the Senate. They could get this done in a week.
Yeah, okay. The real people we need to be focused on is the man on Wall Street. Those are real people we need to be focused on. Let's call them up. Let's point the finger at them.
Yeah,
can we also just
Wall
note? I find it ironic that the app is called Robin Hood, which is a hero of taking money from the rich and giving it to the poor, and then they stop them from doing that.
They're robbing from the hood. They're robbing from the hood. It's wild.
There you go, Brandon.
People really coming up, and they just robbing.
Who's behind? Yeah, and who's behind Robin Hood? Who's the puppet who is orchestrating? All the people at the bottom.
Could have cut those marionette strings if AOC and Ted Cruz could have worked together, but AOC shut the door.
Stop. Oh my God.
John.
See,
Good point.
I'm actually more upset, John, that you do not see the division between men and women in this than the AOC Cruz issue. I can't believe you don't
see
get that.
genders. I don't see color or genders. You know that about me.
I love it.
He is gender blind, whatever that means.
Let's argue some more, because this is actually really fun this evening. It feels like a Friday. Like, we should keep arguing. All right. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is pissed off, specifically at House Republican leaders who she says are underreacting to statements from GOP Rep Marjorie Taylor Greene. So it was recently uncovered Greene supported executing prominent Democrats like Pelosi 2 years ago. And then watch this video surfaced.
If Scott Peterson, the resource officer at Parkland, had done his job, then Nicholas Cruz wouldn't have killed anybody in your high school, or at least protected them. Why are you supporting red flag gun laws that attack our Second Amendment rights? And why are you using kids as a barrier? Do you not know how to defend your stance? Look, I'm an American citizen. I'm a gun owner. I have a concealed carry permit. I carry a gun for protection for myself, and you are using your lobby and the money behind it and the kids to try to take away my Second Amendment rights.
All right, so for clarity, that is the Georgia Rep following Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg on his way to meet with lawmakers. All of these comments came before Greene was elected to Congress and appointed to the Education Committee. So now there is talk of Greene's expulsion or stripping her of her committee assignment. Hogg had this to say about the ordeal.
She talks as well about, saying that she's an American citizen, almost as if implying I'm not just as American as she is, or any of us aren't, simply for not wanting our friends to die anymore. That's just horrific and disgusting. There's no amount of money that you could ever pay any of us to do this work because that's not why we do it. None of us want to be doing this, but we have to because sadly corrupt elected officials like Marjorie Taylor Greene are in Congress and would rather choose to protect guns than children.
Oh boy.
It's a lot here. Yeah, it's a lot. Well, let me just get this out the way. First of all, there's Marjorie just kind of walking down the street like normal. I mean, it would benefit her if she could help tone down some of the rhetoric that's happening because of what she has been, called out for saying over the last few days before she got in office. Just the violence, all the violence behind it.
That video was from at least a year ago. It's not super recent, just so you know.
Okay, thank you for adding that context. Yeah. But yeah, it just seems like she's not really defending those points in terms of over the last few moments, over the last few days of what happened in the past. She's not really defending it. She's basically just twisting and turning when we can't continue to be silent on the specific issues over violence and danger. We saw what happens with that. That's the Capitol insurrection. And that's not a bipartisan issue. It shouldn't be a partisan issue, rather. Everyone was in danger during the insurrection, Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah.
I just want to set the scene here. Marjorie Taylor Greene barely won her primary in Georgia over a more moderate Republican, and then she killed it in her Georgia district. This is a woman that's not going away anytime fast. And on the list of things that are wrong with Marjorie Taylor Greene, this argument with David Hogg is about number 10 for me. She's a QAnoner. She has denied and called school shootings false flags. At least she recognized that this school shooting actually happened in this little exchange between the two of them. But she's a devil that the Democrats know. And she paints the whole Republican Party as accepting of as QAnon. So she's crazy when she's there and she brings her down.
And she brings up her Trump support and everything he stands for to this day, every chance she gets. So it's something we need to be mindful of. For sure.
The fact she's in power, do you think that that's the Republicans using her as political ammunition?
I don't think they want her. I don't think they want her, but she's very popular amongst that flank of the party, and I don't think there's anything you can do about it. Kevin McCarthy has said, "Oh well, we're gonna have a sit down and have a chat about it." That's a lot coming from him, so I imagine it'll continue. Now, it depends on what else they dig up. I mean, she's liked comments on Facebook about false flags that someone called Sandy Hook a false flag, and she liked that comment, and she said, "Oh, someone else was running my Facebook account." Like, we'll have a long way to go in the journey of Marjorie Taylor Greene, so buckle up and get ready for a crazy ride, everybody.
We're gonna take a quick break because that was a lot. We will be right back. We're gonna breathe deep.
Woo! Woo! I love how you do context. Oh, if you love Monday and Tuesday snowfall, just wait till this weekend. I saw a new
Yay.
model that shows over 10 inches of snow over the
I
weekend. We don't know for sure if that's going
Oh.
to happen, but I
Oh,
know.
good.
I know. Still a little uncertainty. We'll know a little bit more tomorrow, but there you go. And then the 30s continue. Forecast brought to you by United Auto Insurance. Get a free quote, call, or click today.
Well, one thing we have all been loving is the Bernie inauguration mitten memes, okay? And apparently it's paying off because the meme of the moment has helped him raise $1.8 million for Vermont charities. He's been selling Chairman Sanders merchandise inspired by the now famous photo. And we actually had a chance to talk to the Indiana woman who gifted them to him a few years back.
When the mittens came out, I had so many friends and customers text me and say, "Are those your mittens from Super Success?" And so we put up a little picture of Bernie with the pose and said, "Shop Bernie's look." And that's what went crazy here. So,
Cute.
That is so cute. All right. Hey, guys, also, if we're talking about the inauguration, there's a new word in the Merriam-Webster dictionary inspired by the new title held by Doug Emhoff. Second gentleman, defined as the husband or male partner of a vice president or second in command of a country or jurisdiction. Emhoff tweeted about his historic entry. Well, now it's official. I love this. I think it's wonderfully so appropriate because he's not the second husband. He's not, he needs his own entry.
Yeah, I think it works. I'm surprised that there haven't been this in there already. I mean, I know the United States has never had a second gentleman before, but other countries have, right? What do they call them? I'm kind of curious. But yeah, this is great. Going back for 1 second, I'm so glad the Bernie meme is done. Happy that they raised a lot of money, but I'm so glad my timeline is free of that now.
Oh,
Agreed.
John, come on. You could have just let it be positive. You didn't have to deb down on that one.
I didn't have to be a fun sucker like Amy.
I'm a total fun sucker sometimes. Hey, but listen to this. Enrique can be the Jam's second husband.
Hey, the second gentleman. There you go. He's actually said that is his dream job. He doesn't want to be the president's spouse, but how fun is it to be the vice president's spouse? So no pressure. Like do whatever you want, have a cause, kind of go for it, but like no one really knows all that much about you. So you're in the spotlight, but kind of on the side where the light diminishes.
Enrique is the second gentleman. I love it.
That's cool though. Making history, like if I'm the person that made history, does that go on your resume? Like how do you let people know? How do you brag about that? You got to put that on the resume.
It's on the resume, or at least your LinkedIn, profile.
Yeah, to the top of your Wikipedia page. All right, never a second gentleman in our hearts. Brandon Pope, what's coming up, my friend?
I appreciate that, John. Thank you very much. All right. So Joe Biden cares. President Biden, he's putting his own spin on the Affordable Care Act. We'll talk more about that coming up in News You Need to Know. Stay right there. More of the Jam. We come back. John?
Yeah, I got a little bit more for you right now. If you think you know the best restaurant in all of Chicagoland, well, guess what? Prove it. We'll tell you how after the break.
Oh. News you need to know. We start with some saddening news here. Legendary actress Cicely Tyson has informed the Associated Press that her family has informed the Associated Press she has passed away at the age of 96. Legendary actor, has been in a lot of great stuff and blazed trails for other Black women in film, and she's sorely going to be missed. Other news you need to know right now, the feds are now stepping in to help stop carjackings in Chicago. Since the start of 2021, there have been more than 150, averaging out at 5 carjackings a day. President Joe Biden signed another round of executive actions, one reopening Obamacare enrollment from February 15th through May 15th. The others rolled back Trump-era restrictions on abortion and family planning services. And the CDC has released its latest vaccination data showing 22 million Americans have gotten their shots. It also shows the vaccinations are safe, and everyone who had an allergic reaction received treatment from that. Now, there have been lots of questions about COVID and the vaccine, and Dr. Ian Smith is using his new show, The Doctors, to bring awareness and encourage physical fitness while you're in quarantine.
We're talking everything COVID, of course, from vaccinations to the variants to double masking to how do you find romance during COVID, all the way to talking about more serious issues with children and depression, and how there's been such a spike in suicides, unfortunately, for our young people who are struggling during the pandemic. So we dedicate an entire hour to that. We believe at The Doctors that it's more than just the X's and O's of medicine. We think wellness is overall different aspects of our life, and we want to encourage people, inspire people. We also have, I'm very excited, on February 1st, my new book, Fast Burn, is going to be used in a challenge. We're doing what's called the Fast Burn Challenge. We're taking 7 of our viewers and we're following them over the course of the 9-week, which the plan is. And we're going to watch them transform and make changes in their lives that hopefully are permanent and very sustainable.
You can catch all new episodes of The Doctors weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on The U.
All right, Chicago Food to Go, a show that highlights area restaurants, the great things that they do, either the restaurants themselves or everyday Chicagoans uploading their videos of their favorite places. And we have a treat for you. So we're doing the first ever Chicago Food to Go Top Choice Awards. So all you got to do is vote for one of these 3 nominees in 7 different categories. All right, so each day we're kind of like highlighting a different category for you. And today, it's my favorite food, Italian food. And how many Italian restaurants are in Chicagoland that have great Italian food? Well, we've had to narrow it down to 3, which was hard enough, but they are Mambo Italiano, Tortello, and Formento. So all 3 of these restaurants, which is like quintessential Italian, the owner is inspired by their Italian grandmother, for real, and they brought down recipes to use at all 3 of those places. Mambo Italians in Mundelein, Tortello's in Wicker Park, and Fermento's is in the West Loop area. So a couple city ones and a suburban one. But All of them are so good, and as I talk more and more about it, I should shut up because I just want meatballs in my mouth immediately.
Yes. Hey,
Tortello's.
Mambo Italiano.
I will say I would pick Mambo Italiano out of the three of my favorite, but Tortello was in my neighborhood, my last neighborhood in the city, so it has kind of a special place in my heart, and it was so good. It was just kind of like that place you went to when you need the comfort food. So I'm saying,
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing
Were you
this,
raising your
John.
hand there, Felicia?
I was, because I agree with Amy. I vote for Amy, and I vote for Tortello, and I vote for Fermentos. I want to vote for Mambo Italiano. I want to vote for all of them. But no, delicious.
of them.
Italian food is synonymous with Chicago. Like, they just go hand in hand. I'm not Italian, but I feel like it.
Yeah, and I love that because like Italy also, and I think what these Italian restaurants do here, and really good ones do. If you remember, I studied abroad in Italy for 9 months, which was basically me just drinking wine for 9 months as a 22-year-old. But
as you should.
I was in northern Italy, right? And the cuisine is not like I just said meatballs.
That's different.
I'm about to contradict myself. It's different, right? The north is a lot of fish dishes, a lot of more cream sauces, and some other options, mussels, which I don't like. But
you don't like
these
mussels?
restaurants have a oh god, no.
I like mussels. I don't do oysters.
Oh, with the bread and the crunchy bread and the mussels. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, wait, John, give me some good Italian. Like, I mean words, not food, because obviously you can't give it to me.
He doesn't know any Italian.
Ho studiato a Verona 2006. Sì, mi piace il vino, mi piace il cibo, spaghetti, meatballs. Yes.
Love it.
Gelato. Yes, there's a lot of great words. You know what's really weird? I don't remember. Like,
Alfredo.
I couldn't tell you a lot of Italian right now, but if Enrique speaks in Spanish, I know a lot of it because Italian and Spanish are so similar.
Yes.
So I kind of like pick things up as you go, which is crazy.
In Chinese, if I like look for a Chinese word in my head, it comes up Spanish first and then Chinese, because that's what I need first.
By the way, here's how
like
you vote. We should let everyone know. It's open till the 14th. Vote right now. CW26Chicago.com. And we'll be back. Arrivederci. Buongiorno.
Hey, we are back. It is a Thursday evening. I jumped on you done hits and I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Thanks for joining us for the Jam tonight, everybody. I'm Amy Rutledge alongside John Anson and Miss Felicia Lawrence.
Hello.
Gonna have some fun.
Gotta love a Thursday.
Yes.
Well known in the restaurant industry, Erik Baylis is pivoting a bit, helping other people out, multitasking. Erik, I don't know what to call it when you go from doing what you did to also opening up a 15-minute testing clinic that also helps restaurant workers. It's really been a juggle for you the last year.
Yeah, it really has. Thanks, John. Thanks for having me on. It has been a little bit of a juggling experience.
Why did you decide to start doing testing clinics? Was it just the fact that you had a lot of people that you know you've worked with in the past that need some gigs, and here this is going to help some other people out too?
The number one reason was to employ people. I mean, as a leader in the community, the number one reason was that I had to let all my employees go. Well, 90% of my employees go. And I mean, that was the toughest day of my life. At the same time, employing people is one thing, but then getting them back to work, everyone else. So, I mean, you can't be Superman and fix everything, but I'm trying.
So talk to us about the test, because it's happening at the Park Ridge Drive-Up location, 15 minutes, right? It's an antigen test.
Correct. It's an antigen test right now. We're looking to offer the PCR starting next week. So basically, you're going to come through the drive-through. It's a no-touch system that we created. We created an app, so therefore you come in, you just scan the QR code. It's all HIPAA compliant, so you then park in a parking spot. We have a flagger that's actually one of our employees from the restaurants that pulls in, and they basically put in all their information. They then pay for that test and then they come through. Then we have a certified tech that comes out, which is actually an athletic trainer, which they're all out of work as well. So we're trying to help that community out as well. And what they will do is they pass you over the rapid antigen test right now. You test yourself. They then take it back. They tell you to drive on. When you drive on, we actually bring it to our lab. We then send you a push notification right to your phone. We've been averaging about 7 minutes to get it back to people.
Wow. Okay, so that's interesting, because no discredit to any public health department. They are really good at a lot of things. But the movement of people through lines and through reservations, I mean, what you're describing to me almost sounds like making a reservation at a restaurant, getting the bill, and getting out the door.
John, exactly. It's what we have 10 locations nationwide right now, and the other restaurateurs that are all running, the licensees that are running each of these, we get on a Zoom call once a week, and we're laughing. It's like running a restaurant with one menu item and one table, and the customer wants to leave right away.
Do you have any other, I mean, you mentioned PCR tests maybe next week at the location. I mean, you mentioned a couple nationwide. Is there any other thoughts about expanding this through vaccines, or I guess even beyond pandemic time, to other ways in which you can use the model that you've now built for the future of community health?
Correct. Well, we built this model, and I've been in contact, writing letters and emails with the government and the state, and anything they need us for. I really just want to help out. And then the next way that we're going to pivot a little bit is that we really want to help get people back. Say we don't want to move backwards at all. So we want to make it convenient. We'll actually come to businesses and we will actually test your employees once a week. We're working on helping the uninsured for the restaurant community. What the ultimate plan is, that we're working on the final pieces. You guys will be the first ones to hear it here live, is that we're looking to come to restaurants and test the uninsured for free. We don't want this to go backwards.
Best of luck. Let's get the information on the screen for the Park Ridge location at 401 Devon Avenue for that. And we look to hear more from you, Erik.
Awesome, John. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about helping others. The recent death of Glenbrook North star football player is raising the topic of high school sports and mental health. The student died by suicide, and parents say a lack of sports was likely a key factor. Kate Kelley-Schneider is a psychotherapist and owner of Pure Health Center. And Kate, thanks so much for joining us. I want to jump right in. Talk to me about how important it is, especially for boys, more so than girls, and their social network.
Yeah, I've been asked that a lot lately. It's tricky. Both genders have been affected tremendously. I think about the boys. They've historically used sports as a space to you get emotion out and get together with teammates, and that's a space for them to release emotion. And so that being taken away has hurt men and boys quite a bit, but also I see girls being just as affected and having anxiety and depression spark up during this time where it's been an identity crisis for most of them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, not only do sports actually help just get anxiety off because you're releasing that energy, but for social purposes, let's face it, girls will sit down and talk. We'll talk about our emotions. We'll talk about our stuff. I got 3 boys in my house, and they won't talk about anything unless they're on their video games or unless they're playing something.
I think that's true. I have 3 boys as well, so I connect with you on that. They find that a place where they can, to your point, connect, and maybe they don't have the same conversations as girls do. And so for them, I know with my boys, they were quieter and in their rooms more, on electronics more. Even though they were training and trying to stay active, there was definitely a shift in mood that was hard to really identify as a mom. Even, how do I get them out of that? They don't really want to talk feelings. So I tried to be creative in other ways to connect with them and with my clients as well. How do we get young men to make it through this time where they felt such a void? It really was a large void for them.
Yeah, so that's my next question. So what do we as parents do to help our kids, boy or girl, but in this case, we're talking a little bit more about boy. What do we do? And then what do we watch for?
Good question. I personally think the first thing we do is exercise empathy. Often I find, again, with my clients, they don't want us to jump to problem solving. So the best thing we can do is validate that there is a void, look at them and say, I'm really sorry, this must feel bad. And sit with that. I find if you just sit in a car with your teen, talk about other things, look into, what kind of music are they listening to, finding other ways to connect that aren't really direct. What's wrong? Are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you anxious? Are ways with, especially the boys, since you're asking, that I think can help us understand what's going on. How are they maybe feeling? And then asking them, what kind of tools do they go to? What do they use when they're feeling, say they start to share with you, you're in the car. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out. Asking them, well, what do you do when you're bummed out? And being more curious than problem solving. So investigate what might, be happening. And then when there's that room for them to say, I don't know, do you have any suggestions? That's when you can offer, well, let's move to what kind of food are we eating? Are we sleeping okay? Are we, what kind of ways are we moving our body, and what kind of ways are we staying in the moment? Because for all of us, it's been very difficult during this time to stay in the moment. Yeah. So I like to do things, help kids stay in the moment, play activities, do activities that keep them in the moment.
Do you use your own example? Because this is where I struggle a little bit with. Do you say, to connect, I get where you're coming from, mommy feels the same way too? Or are you supposed to be a little bit stronger, a little bit more upbeat for them? And that's why I wonder, I don't want to share that I'm down too, but I want them to know that I'm down too.
Yeah, I really believe in being honest. Kids are smarter. We don't give them enough credit. They see it anyway. They're picking up on our own stuff. So to really say that I know what that feels like, and maybe feeling that, offers them a space to feel that they're not so, different, and that we get it, and that we understand that emotion. We don't understand maybe what they're going through at this time, but we certainly understand what it feels like to feel a void or feel sad, feel really stressed. So I'm a big believer in parents using their own emotions to connect and staying in the feelings space with them instead of trying to problem solve. Kids shut off immediately when we tell them we think we know how to fix it. Yeah, they do. Yeah. So
100%. I totally agree with that. Kate, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for bringing light to this important issue. I appreciate that very much, Amy. So thank you.
Thanks. All right, purehealthcenter.com is where you can find some more information as well. Felicia.
Okay, well, the pandemic is causing a new clothing trend. Skinny jeans, they're out of here, and the loose-fitting straight leg jeans are in. Now, the design is for men and women. It's flying off the shelves. Trendsetters say it's because people now want more comfortable clothes after being stuck in quarantine. And I'm happy to hear this, because here I was, I thought turning 30 did that to me. Nope, it's the quarantine. Loose clothes are in.
100%, I disagree. I like it tight. I like it I want it compressed. I wanted it sucked in. I don't want some loose fitting fatty jeans that I'm gonna then get into in 2 weeks, or go to my other pants and be like, oh crap, my other pants don't fit. Oh, I didn't realize it because I was wearing my big fat loose baggy
I am Goldilocks in this scenario. I like a good straight leg that has a little stretch to it, but is more form-fitting than like mom baggy jeans, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't like the
Okay.
skinny. I don't like a tapered leg that like comes down too much. I like a straight leg, but I don't want a boot cut. So yeah, I'm Goldilocks. I picked the middle one. Did she pick the middle one? Or is that
So
the
you don't want
right? What am I
No.
thinking of the right
You don't want the MC Hammer
But
pants?
you could
is
be
what
in the
you're saying?
middle.
Yes, I want the one in the middle. Yeah. Wait,
What
what's that
time is
move? Hold
it?
on. We ain't stopping. We'll go back and forth. Is that some MC
Do you
Hammer
not
thing?
know the MC Hammer pants dance? I can't do it because you can't see my legs, but you don't know the.
Yeah, you can. We can't see your legs.
You can't see my legs. I'm doing it.
Mm-mm.
I am going to
She
send
likes
you
it
this
tight.
shot. Make it a thing.
I'm just saying, I need a break. I'm tired of holding it in. I've been holding it in for the last 10 years. I need to let it all hang out.
Girl, I've been holding it for the last 30 years. And as you get older, there's more to hold in. So you're like, oh, man, just keep it tight. Keep it tight.
Oh, well, I'll wrap us up from that. That seems like a good point if there's any. Gone but not forgotten. Oh, we look at what our favorite folks of the key Trump players of the Trump administration are up to next. Or words in a better order. You know what I meant to say there, though.
Yeah.
Amy.
I love MC Hammer.
Yeah, I know I gotta do weather, but I'm watching the MC Hammer video that Amy sent me. Okay, yeah.
Is it
All
new?
right, Okay, so
Is it
the
new?
temperatures tomorrow will be in the single digits when you wake up. 29 will be the high temperature. We'll get some more clouds in the area too before the snow over the weekend. This forecast brought to you by United Auto Insurance. Get a free quote, call or click today. You know how hard it is to say United Auto Insurance without then singing the jingle immediately afterwards?
Yes, United Auto Insurance.
773-202 5000. So we're gonna charge a little extra there. All right, go ahead, Felicia.
Okay, it's been a hot minute since the Trump administration left the White House. So we wanted to take a look at where are they now. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, first daughter and presidential advisor Ivanka Trump. They got some new digs. Her and her husband Jared Kushner are renting a massive luxury condo in Miami's hip oceanside residential building known as the Arte. The price tag, though, this is the the one that'll get you. They are paying $40,000 a month. To put it in perspective, their old DC home is now back on the rental market for $18,000 a month. But renting for $40,000?
That's not paid for my minivan. Oh, good Lord, people. All right, former VP Mike Pence may want to check that out because he is apparently homeless. Doing a bit of couch surfing with family. He's been in public office for so long that he has not had to own a home in more than 10 years. Rumors are he is debating going back to Indiana, where he was once governor, or rent a home in D.C. as he contemplates running for president in 2024.
And the most insane person in the world right now, Rudy Giuliani, is now banned by YouTube from making money off ads on his YouTube page. So we're not talking about paid sponsorship. Those are fine. But ads he is making himself for products. So Jimmy Fallon found some of them. Check this out.
If you want a good cigar, go to a good cigar shop. You want the best, go to Famous Smoke Shop. American Hartford Gold is the company you can trust when it comes to buying gold. Order Omega XL now and get a second bottle free.
Earbuds from Raycon, because they connect by Bluetooth seamlessly, and you're not having to untangle all these headphone wires.
Wait, quick question. Quick question. Who's buying earbuds because Rudy Giuliani recommends
This is the guy who could not figure out how to use the iPad when he was on TV. Remember this? And he was like, it's right here, right here.
He butt dials reporters all the time. Yes, Rudy Giuliani has had such a fall from grace from America's mayor after 9/11 to what became of the 2020 post-election nonsense. But
Yeah,
I don't
Teddy
feel
all the
bad for
time.
anyone that was. I have no problem feeling bad for anyone that was in that office. And honestly, I don't even care what they're doing. I don't care.
You hitched your wagon hoping to make some money, and it didn't work out.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, Brandon, take us there, wherever we're going.
I was going to say I'm most intrigued by Mike Pence here. Guys, couch surfing? What?
Probably really nice
that's
couch.
pretty intriguing. Former VP, and now that's what you have left. I mean,
he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
I hear that
I can
Kayleigh
understand it.
Kayleigh McEnany might be going to Fox. I understand. So
Oh God,
shocker.
shocking. Ooh.
That makes sense. Yeah, but with Pence, I mean, hey, you should be able to find a place in Indiana pretty easily. I mean, that's where you're from. Property values are low. He should be good. I'm assuming Noblesville, Carmel. He'll be somewhere in that Indiana area. Shout out to Indiana, the Hoosiers.
You think Pence could be president?
I
Brandon?
do love Indiana.
I think Mike Pence is going to run for president in 2024. I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I think that he's definitely been plotting his whole entire path off of running in 2024, 28. So, yeah, he's going to run.
I hear Ivanka Trump for Florida trying to challenge maybe the sitting senator for a primary.
Wow. That could be interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Do we
pass.
see Don Jr. doing anything?
I can't see
Do you
him
get the whole
doing a
Trump
crossword
family?
puzzle. I don't know what he could do.
I'll pass on
I
that.
couldn't see any of those kids. I swear, I couldn't even see them reading the newspaper, let alone contributing to one.
Look at Amy. You guys better move
All
on
right.
before you send Amy over to
I'm
Ed.
meditating.
All right, Brandon. Now you can
Woosah.
tease us. Tease us, baby.
All
Make it a
right,
good one.
guys. Well, guess what? The drama heats up on the CW's Walker.
Last time we spoke, he was taking down the most notorious bank robbers of the last century.
You are under arrest.
Care to tie up one more loose end with me? Last time we spoke, he was taking down the
That's right. Tonight, Cordell Walker tries to reconnect with kids after he returns home following 2 years of undercover work. Jared Padalecki stars as Walker. Check out the season's most talked about new show tonight on CW26. Food insecurity is one of the greatest issues Chicagoans face today. Too many families in need, not knowing where their next meal is going to come from. But you have a chance to help us feed Chicago. CW26, the U, Me TV FM, and Being Legal are partnering with the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Our goal is to donate $15,000 in meals. Here's how you help us out. Pick up your phone and text CW26 to 41444. That's CW26 to 41444, or go to CW26chicago.com to donate. We're going to be accepting your donations now until Friday, February 19th. Let's feed Chicago.
Oh, time for trending hot takes. All right, a Texas, and this is gonna be everybody playing with this one. We got the whole crew here today. Well, Krista's on assignment, but Brandon is here. All right, time for trending hot takes. A police chief in Texas is in some real hot water. One might even say the doghouse, under social media arrest after leading not a double life, but a triple life. He's married with 4 kids, and one of his mistresses happened to see that he posted a happy anniversary post to his wife, right? Well, she went crazy on Facebook, or maybe she was justifiable, spilling all their dirty laundry on Facebook about who he's cheating on, all this sort of stuff, all this craziness. Felicia, give us a hot take, girl.
Who in the flippin' world has time to lead a triple life? A triple life? That's a lot of energy. Whew. I'm just trying to lead this one good one.
Hot take, Amy.
John said he's in the doghouse. Snip, snip. We got to take care of that.
Oh, wow. Have your pet spayed and neutered. Okay. Brandon, hot take.
When you're over the age of 40, your mistresses should be under the age of 28. That way, Facebook won't get you in trouble because they're not on there. All right? Easy as that.
That's true.
That's really funny.
I'm giving the hot take to Brandon. Brandon gets the point. Felicia gets that was good. They're all pretty good. All right, Brandon's got the first one. All right. A single mom has moved her and her 2 kids into a tiny house, not just like a small house, a tiny house to teach those kids a lesson. So she's divorced and she's downgraded from a 3,600 square foot penthouse house in the city down to a 400 square foot little cabin in the mountains. She says it's for her own peace. She's learning a lot about herself, but she's dragged her 2 kids there as well. And she says, good, they should learn how to live without stuff. Amy, hot take.
Good job, Mama. Right there with ya.
Standing ovation. All right, Brandon.
Look, I get you may have not got that Barbie dream home you always wanted when you were a kid, but this is not the way to get it. You don't make a literal Barbie-sized house. Let's pass on that.
Brandon, that was funny. Felicia, hot take.
No hot take here. Just kudos to any woman that can pick herself up after being hurt and keep going. She went from being scorned to being reborn.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm gonna give that point to Felicia. Brandon, her tiny house is still bigger than yours, so there you go. Lady Gaga.
True. Very true.
Lady Gaga's pink Oreo cookies inspired by Chromatica are now available because capitalism is an unstoppable force of evil sent from the devil himself. Brandon, hot take.
Abolish Oreo cookies that are not the original Oreo cookies. I'm so sick of this. Defund it all. It's ridiculous. I can't even find
the
original
Oreo.
Oreos in the store anymore. I can't find them
Felicia.
anymore. It's ridiculous.
5 seconds, Felicia.
Good for her and the endorsement. I don't know, pink stuff, colored stuff, ew.
Amy?
Not gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna just do the
Brandon wins hot takes. We'll see you tomorrow.
There we go.